Welcome back to the man cave. This was a video that I wasn't expecting to make. My intention for this weekend was to take the 97 Fireblade for its MOT. But when I jumped on it, I was going around it and sort of trying to give it a bit of a shakedown, and I just felt the rear suspension didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it had any compression damping, rebound damping. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not an expert on suspension. But when you sat on it, that felt okay. But when you took your weight off, it kind of came up with a slight clonk, so to speak. So at the moment I've put the MOT on hold while I try to sort out the rear suspension. Now I have got this rear shock. It's off a I think it's a 2000 or 2001 Fireblade. Problem is that gets in the way. It rubs up against the battery box. So I'm going to try and put it in again just to see if I can fiddle about with it. If that doesn't work, I had thought about putting this suspension in, which I have borrowed after butchering the 93 blade. Was it a 94 blade? 93 blade. The problem with it is this is 319 millimeters and the 97 blade I think is 305 millimeters. So let's go over to the bike and see how far I've got, and we'll see what we can do. If I have to, I'm gonna have to buy a different one. I don't want to buy the same. I don't want to buy an old replacement. There's no point. So it's either something better or try to get something else to work. So we've got to this point. I've got the seat off. I've taken the exhaust off because my intention is to undo the rear subframe so I can hinge it down and then access the rear suspension. That's the only real way of doing it, unless you go from underneath. I'm going to then put that 2001-2000 shock on and just see how bad it was. If you follow some of my other videos, it seemed to just be pressing there, and I literally need about 5 mil, 10 mil at the most probably. And I don't want to butcher or cut this. I can't get it to sit any further back, and we are talking millimeters. So I'm just going to take this down. And so hopefully I can get through there. Well, that looks a little bit shorter than that one, and the other one looked a little bit longer than that one. So I thought this was a fit. I didn't measure it. Let's have a look. I think it's centre to centre, and that one's 300 and... what did I say it was? 309, 305? That one's approximately about 300 and something. That was about 290. So I thought that was the same size. Obviously it's not. You can clearly see it's shorter, and this one's slightly longer. So, right. I don't know what to do. So I go to offer up the 2000-2001 shock just to see what it looks like. But this is the problem. I may have to bite the bullet and get something expensive. Never mind. So it's the only way that will go in. I was even debating putting it in upside down. So I lost some footage or forgot to film the fitting of this 2001 shock. But you can see from this old footage that I filmed originally that it just rubs up against the battery box, which wouldn't bother me if it just touched it, but because the swing arm and everything is moving up and down, it's going to rub away eventually and probably cause some problems. And it's slightly too short. Okay, I've made an executive decision. I'm going to take that out, and for the time being I'm going to put this one in, which is slightly longer, just to see what it feels like. It'll obviously make the bike sit higher at the back and lower at the front. Let's just see what happens. Rightio, in she goes. I've given it a little bit of a clean up. It's still grubby. Right, so this isn't going to work. It's upset the setup, and I don't think you can see there with the torch I'm shining on which battery is going. It's just touching the back of the swing arm, and underneath there, I don't know if you can see it through that little gap, everything there is just a little bit too close. Okay, so that's not going to work. I'm going to leave that on there for the moment because I can't be bothered to take it apart. I'm going to have to try and source another shock. This just one isn't right. It's just something that feels weird. Like I say, when you're bouncing on it, it kind of clonks up more than anything else. The next step is now to find another shock absorber. I don't like these, it's a bit antiquated, it's old fashioned. It may look traditional, but it's not for me. If I was to buy another one, it's either going to be a reasonably priced, good second-hand one, but you'll find these decent ones going for 150 quid maybe, but then you don't know if they're working properly, unless they've been serviced. So that leads me in the direction of an aftermarket newish one. It's pointless putting shit on because it'll just be shit, especially an old one like this. This is, how old is this bike? 30 years old. 30 years? 29, 30 years old. So every shock is going to be 30 years old. So next time you see me, hopefully I'll have a new shock. So the trial fit of the suspension of the Mark 1 blade onto the Mark 2 blade didn't work. I think it was too long and it was touching the swing arm. It's been about a week or so since I did that. And now I've got myself some brand new suspension. I've splashed out and got myself a YSS suspension. Now, I got this off a company called Black and White Bikes. I think they're up in Lincolnshire. I dealt with a guy called Paul, really nice chap. Did me a great deal on this. If you need anything like suspension, I think they specialise in suspension and suspension setups and race stuff. They also do stuff like MOTs and surfacing, I think, as well. So if you're in that area, obviously too far away from me because I live in Pembrokeshire. If you're in that area, they'll help you out. or you can just ring them or go on their website and they'll set you up with some suspension. So let's unbox this and then we'll get it on the bike. Right, so here it is. This is like an unboxing video like the professional YouTubers do. Ta-da! So that's all the instructions, I'm guessing. Ooh, now then. That is pretty. So I'm going to put it on without adjusting it in any shape, way or form, because I don't know how to set it up anyway, so I'll just leave it as it's come out of the box and see how it feels. Out with the old and in with the sexy new shock. Right, let's just torque these up. .45 Newton meters. Okay, so there she is, all installed. Shame it's so hidden because it's quite a pretty shock. Also, what I've done to this bike, just out of interest, is I took the battery off the other blade because it was a lithium battery. Now, lots of people rave about lithium batteries and how light they are. Look how light that is. I think it weighed something like 270 grams, grams. Whereas I put a standard battery on the scales and the scales went up to 2 kilos and it wouldn't register. It was heavier than 2 kilos. I hope you can hear me with this rain. Another lovely day in Pembrokeshire. Right, let's get this all bolted back together, get it off the stand and have a little bouncy. So, we're all back together. Shock's on. I'm going to give it a bit of a bouncy for you. And we might be able to hear the difference above the rain. That's better. So I'll try and overlay a video of the old shock. Now it went down fine, so compressed fine, but then when it came back up, which I think they called the rebound, I'm no expert on this, I think the rebound damping wasn't working, so it wasn't dampening the upstroke, so it was clonking when it was coming back up. I'm not sure for what reason, I'm no expert. I did rebuild the shock, as you might see in one of the other videos. It worked well on the ZX10 that I rebuilt many years ago, and that rides nice, very comfortable, but for some reason this one wasn't working. So again, thank you to Black and White Motorcycles, link in the description. All I got to do now is MOT it, which I did have planned originally, and then hopefully I can ride it. Now the plans for this bike were to do it up and possibly sell it, but I've now spent so much money on it, I suppose I'll have to keep it. Until next time,